Hey guys, it's Aaron. Welcome to the Afterschool Pandemic Journals. We've recorded over a year and a half of content throughout the pandemic and weren't really able to release any of the episodes due to quality issues. Just to let you know though, some of these early recordings are a little bit wonky and a little bit shitty. Now, we want to release a clip show to you guys every Friday to our loyal listeners and fans to provide you guys with more content. Let us know what you think, rate, and subscribe. Welcome to After School Special Podcast. We are talking and we are, Don and I are having a few right now. We'll call this the bar sessions. We had one last season when we were talking about music. We'll probably end up talking about music, crying a little bit, getting emotional. Well, I'll get emotional. Don... the only emotions he has are happiness and anger, and I am a weepy bitch. So...
You're a hissing radiator, Aaron.
Yeah. Yeah, but to talk about Jeff
Bezos?
Bamboozle? Yeah, there we go.
Bamboozles.
The guy that likes to treat his employees like shit, yet go up into space with a cowboy hat. Who the fuck did he think he was? Tommy Lee Jones from Space Cowboys?
This motherfucker yippee-ki-yay in space? Hell yeah.
Did you see that?
No.
He had a cowboy hat on, and it's like, I refuse. So the last thing that I bought were masks off of Amazon. I refuse to buy anything off of there anymore. I had to buy my kids. No, I'm done with that shit. And the other thing too, it does create jobs, but his whole mentality that like within 3 years the person gets lazy, so there's no way for that person to move up. You've heard this, right? This is actually something that he's said. He's admitted to saying. A person that has worked there for 3 years, especially people that are of color, minorities, because that's the big thing. A lot of the people that work in the factories are minorities, and it is harder for them to move up. This dude is a classist piece of shit. Jeff Bezos, you fucking cunt. Fucking acting like an asshole, looking like Bluegrass from Silverhawks, riding a fucking dick machine, big old fucking cock and balls at the end of it to express how big his tiny dick is. His dick is exceptionally small. You want to know how small it is?
How small?
It's as small... I was going to say as my dick, but my dick's pretty big.
Wouldn't it make you mad if like Jeff Bezos had like the biggest dick in the world and he just took it to space? Wouldn't that be fucked up? Like, damn, man, you got all that money and you got a big dick.
I was kind of hoping that, like an alien fucking thing would happen. If he has a big dick, if he has a big dick.
No, really, what have you done?
I don't know what I would do, man.
Because you want to hate on him so bad.
Bezos have a big dick.
Like, fuck that guy. He got all that money. He's been like treating people unfairly. But then like someone like out of the crowd be like, but he has a big dick. It's like, oh, fuck you, bitch. Like, you don't want to believe it. But what if he did? He took his big schlong to space with his brother, by the way.
Oh yeah, that other bald-headed fuck.
Yeah, fuck that guy. But
yeah, Bezos's.
If you could go to space like Jeff Bezos or Weasels.
Beelzebub?
Yeah, what would you wear? Like, he's wearing a cowboy hat. What would you wear? Would you wear like a G-string or some shit?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
A banana hammock all the way. Yellow. Let's see, I would have a t-shirt on that says I want my MTV.
I was going to say, I'm wearing a band t-shirt. So you wearing, I want my MTV. Yeah, fucking yeah, Aaron.
Yeah, I want my MTV. Friends, and then I would have like a fishbowl on top of my head with like 2 old school TV antennae, and literally like hooked up in the bowl would be hooked up like a fucking weed ventilator that just popped in fucking. Yeah.
See, that's why I fucks with you. Because I was going to say, at that point, obviously you'll be high, right? Going to space, you gotta be high. Fuck being sober. I'd be like, God damn.
I don't know, man. You go up there, it's like, it's just like it's on the TV.
Hey, and what if you're assigned to be the pilot? I'd be zigzagging and shit. Like, oh shit, like I shouldn't have been the pilot. I'm high.
Yeah.
But like, what are you gonna crash into? Other spacecrafts?
Yeah.
Motherfucker, it's just you. Yeah. It's literally called space. What are you going to run into?
That's the other thing too, man. There's no time in space. There's no time. There's no time to... Well, fuck, dude.
What's the song is going to be playing? What's the song that's playing while you're penetrating our, what's that, the hemisphere, our atmosphere? I don't know what
Let me see. I have to find it. Oh, fuck. I think I have it.
Is it R. Kelly, I Believe I Can Fly?
Hell no. Everyone would also be like Creedence Clearwater, like
anything with a banjo or a harmonica. I think John would definitely probably dig that. I don't know if I would be playing hard rock going into space. Maybe Master of Puppets. That'd be kind of cool.
Ooh, okay. This is definitely one that I would play. I'll just pop this on here.
Pop it.
David Bowie, Heroes. Heroes.
That's a good one.
Well, swim. But,
that's your first choice off the top of your head. That's your first choice.
Off the top of my head, it would have to be Bowie. And then I was trying to think, because you don't want anything that's like, dun, 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 dun. Like, oh my God, we're going to crash this fucking.
Well, you're high. What do you care, dude?
Yeah, that's true. Either that or you wouldn't die if you're high, right?
No. How about this? You get up there, you're playing the music, and then aliens like, oh shit, he made it. What's the first thing? What's the first thing you would say to an alien? Like, if they ask you like, hey, what's the most important thing I need to know about your planet? What will you say?
Looking at our climate down there, don't get pulled over by a cop.
You think they'll be racially profiled? It's like, that's the biggest. Yeah, that's a good one.
They're tall, gray.
They're a legal alien. Yeah.
And then they're just trying, like, I'm just grabbing my keys. Don't move. He's got a gun. Fuck. God damn it. No, I guess the one thing is man, that's a tough question.
Okay, what about an easier one? Okay, what's the first fucking, I heard about your music, but I haven't listened to it. What's the first thing I should listen to understand Earth music? Or is that a harder question?
No, I think I know.
Really? The first thing, they're like, okay, I get it. This is Earth.
Hold on. It will take me a second to get this.
I'm going to say ABBA.
Holy fuck, dude. Hell yes. Hell yes. I was going to go with something a little more like, fuck.
Or fucking the Carpenters. I don't know.
ABBA. Yeah, definitely.
Fucking ABBA, dude.
Wait, what song?
All of them. Fucking all of them. Fucking hell. Throw in disco. I know people hate disco, but it's some very positive reinforcement shit going on in there. You never feel bad listening to disco. You either want to get high or fuck, and then you like, that's how life could be. And then they'll occasionally throw in some curveballs in the disco. Look, gotta get on the good foot. I don't know what song is that, but I'm sure it is a song. Yeah, I would start with that.
Those are all tough questions. I'm trying to think of like.
What are you gonna say, Soldier Boy?
Yes, Soldier Boy. Chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side.
What song is that? Is that a song?
It's chicken noodle soup. Oh wait, no, I got it. I have it. I have the one.
Thank you. This is gonna be great, ladies and gentlemen.
It's this guy. You can't even see it. It's pen, pineapple, apple pen.
I have a pen. I have an apple. Apple pen. I have a pen. I have pineapple.
Pineapple pen. Apple pen. Pineapple pen. And pineapple, apple pen.
That shit slaps. Do you think they're in the mood for dancing or invading Earth?
Invading the Earth, probably, because the way that this. Okay, so the saying is, I think it's Loki that says it. Does a foot have a problem like crushing an ant or something like that? It's that was in the Avengers, and I'm like, Yeah, that's kind of true. The fact that we would be possibly lesser beings unless we evolved into them, which, if you look at some of the people nowadays...
You mean like if we fuck them?
Well, yeah, we could fuck them. But I think...
Oh, we could be fucked. I mean, that's what the probes are. They sticking hot alien dick in her.
Okay, well, now you're getting into my territory because there's actually like accounts of people getting like a cone wrapped up around their genitals, and then they're just shooting ropes for days. Shooting ropes, spider webs, Peter Parker's all over the place.
You think that's like normal biology of an alien, that they naturally shoot ropes, or they have that one...
Aliens don't shoot ropes. Aliens can't procreate. That's why they use us to shoot ropes.
Oh, they're living through our ropes.
Yeah, basically, because they've evolved so much. That's why, okay, so aliens, dude. But from what I understand, there is no gender with aliens. That's why people are maybe obsessed with gender nowadays. But
Are you
aliens
sure?
have any accounts. It has always been the same tall grays. There's tall whites. There's the Venusians. There's Valerians. And like, what is it?
Let me ask you a question.
But there's no gender.
So they're like fish.
Kind of. Yeah, they just don't have any genitals. That's why they use our fucking shit to procreate.
How do fish procreate? Do you know that? Do we need to go Google that? How do fish procreate?
The fish, well, salmon...
Because it's not a lot of fish fucking, right?
No, there's no fucking. It's eggs are laid and then germinated.
Yeah.
All over the place.
So you don't think they're laying eggs? Or maybe they're doing like the Alien movie. They're laying eggs in our face, and then we like poop them out in our stomach or something. I don't know.
No, I think that's a Ridley Scott.
That's too
a
much.
Ridley Scott thing. No. If they came down, and then it would be more like insect, because that's kind of what the xenomorphs were. Were in
That's what I'm
like
saying.
insects in a sense.
And you don't think they're... I view that movie differently than other people. I don't think they're bad guys, or...
They're just doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, they poop in your mouth. And
It's in their genetics. That's more or less what they're doing. They're not bad guys. They're just, xenomorphs.
It's scary to us. It's not scary to them. It's just like, hey, man.
Yeah, it's like, hey, this is a Tuesday.
Let me skeet in your mouth. Mouth.
It's just like she doesn't wipe her butt properly, so she smells like farts.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Welcome everyone to our fireside chat on After School Special. It's Christmas time, or the holiday season, as I guess liberals want to say. We can't say Christmas anymore. Is that bad?
Boo.
No.
Come join me on the Kwanzaa canoe. Happy Kwanzaa, everybody. Happy Kwanzaa. Mazel tov, baby.
What is Kwanzaa?
Kwanzaa. Oh,
Dude, that's a whole nother episode. Come on, Aaron.
Okay, we'll talk about it later. Today we are talking about the biggest holiday specials that we remember as a kid, specifically from one production company, Rankin Bass. We remember them so much. It was like some of our first memories as children. Day before Christmas, fire burning, hot chocolate brewing with 2 or 3 marshmallows. All of a sudden, you see a reindeer with a tumor on its nose come on the TV. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And, themes like these animations, themes like, it's okay to be different. But then in reality, when we would go to school, we would make fun of the fat kid. Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
yeah, they're trying to say that. I saw an article somewhere where they're talking about it has some gay overtones. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Well, this show went another way quick.
No.
Jesus Christ, John.
I'm saying that to say that everybody sees something different when they watch that show.
Yep.
So I'm just saying that an article came out, and again, let me preface it by saying there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that whoever wrote the article said that it was some gay overtones within Rudolph. So
Yep.
I mean, it's the same thing with Wizard of Oz. I don't see any overtones, but people align it with.
So they were kind of ahead of their time then, John.
Progressives.
Yeah.
progressive. Yeah,
I can see that.
Well, let me touch on the history a little bit of Rankin Bass, formerly Video International. Now, this production company, they did a bunch of different animations, not just stop motion animation, but strictly we're talking about the Christmas stuff, which they made 19 different Christmas specials. Basically, with us or 30 somethings, this was our childhood, especially like every year you would see a new one. And like we were talking about earlier, they touched on different holidays too. I believe it was Mouse and the Mayflower. John, you mentioned a couple too. They had Rudolph's Shiny New Year.
Yeah, so that was for New Year's Eve. Then they had the Mad, Mad, Mad Monster Party, and then Peter Cottontail for Easter.
Yep. Which never really understood Bunny shitting out eggs as like that's a holiday, but I guess it's a pagan ritual, just like Christmas is, right?
What don't you understand about the shitting out eggs? What don't you understand? It's natural.
A rabbit, that's not natural. A rabbit doesn't shit out eggs.
Oh.
Oh.
This whole time I thought that? Colored eggs, too.
Leprechaun pisses out Lucky Charms.
Oh, shit.
I love Lucky Charms. But anyway.
So, yeah, it's a lot of the specials were stop motion animation. So they were around from 1960 to 87. They closed their production offices and their studios, but they were still kind of putting out stuff. The ones that, when I was doing the research, the last one that popped out the biggest, I think there was a special in 1999. But there was the last special that they did was Santa Baby with Patti LaBelle in 2001. Honestly, I remember watching this because this was on UPN, the same block as Malcolm and Eddie and the other show with Uncle Phil. We brought it up before in other episodes.
Oh, when they were lawyers.
Show.
Yes.
Lawyer show.
Fucking hilarious. I love that show. And because I'd watch Malcolm and Eddie, and then I'd watch that right afterwards, and that was kind of my block. And then also,
Homeboys in Outer Space came on around that time.
Yes,
too. That was
UPN. Wow.
UPN, the Underpaid Negroes Network.
Yes,
that's what that was.
It was UPN and WB. They like cornered the market on black people.
Yeah, I know, right?
Was BET around then?
Oh, they've been around for a long time. Since like the 80s, I think.
Because I think BET, well, I don't, if they're still around, I remember seeing Santa Baby on BET. Santa Baby was more or less a young girl trying to find the meaning of Christmas, and there was a superintendent of the apartment complex.
Played by Tom Joyner.
Yeah. Yep, and he was such a mean person. You find out there's only a little bit of a reasoning why he's so mean. They never touch on it again. He lost his wife the year before, and that's why he's so angry all the time and tries to drown the animals that are living in the basement that this woman is taking care of. And he never gets like the Scrooge ending.
Well, it sounds bad when you say it like that, Aaron.
Well, it was bad.
Well, yeah, it's that cartoon was, I guess, very popular for his time because that was, in Detroit, Tom Joyner came on, and he still comes on.
Yep.
And I know it was a real big thing for the holidays around that time because it was like a predominantly black cast that was coming out. On the other side of that, you had, I want to say, was it James Earl Jones had a Christmas special that came out?
Oh, at the same time?
Yeah, Santa and Pete. I think that was around the same time. But let us not go down that rabbit hole because it's a whole racial overtone with Santa and Pete. So it is what it is.
But fucking Earth the Kit was in this special, right?
She sung Santa Baby.
Right.
Yep.
Which was her hit, right?
She was famous for that, and she also sung it again with Patti LaBelle in this, which I think that's a hell of a duo, Patti LaBelle and Eartha Kitt.
Oh, don't forget about Vanessa Williams.
Vanessa Williams was in that, wasn't she? Yeah, she sure was.
Oh, she was. I had a crush on her as a kid.
I still do.
She was in that movie Eraser with Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's the last thing I remember her being in. That was like 98, 99.
Yep, and all I remember is the alligator in that. Anyways. Let's see here. So a lot of their productions, or their more popular productions, were the Christmas ones, the stop motion. Now, Santa Baby was an animation, and they did do some animation. You had Rudolph. All these were based on stories. So it wasn't, they bought the rights to them and were able to recreate them. And Year Without Santa Claus, which basically Santa takes a year off and then all hell breaks loose and the apocalypse happens, right? Which is basically what's going on right now. Santa Claus took the year off. There's no Christmas, right? Corona stopped Christmas.
No, he's still coming through the chimney, just wearing a mask. It's all gravy. He has hand sanitizer.
Good. Yes, good Don.
He has a hazmat suit. It's awesome.
He needs to take precautions because he is diabetic, right? He eats all those fucking cookies.
Well, if it's my belief, like I said, the sugar is what keeps him going. For mere mortals like us, we would be diabetic, but for Santa,
Yes.
sugar is power.
How old is Santa? Like a century?
Oh,
or
he'd
more?
be like what not a billion. He'd be like in his thousands, I would think. It's funny, we give Santa shit, but Santa is pretty prevalent in the DC universe because he is a superhero in the DC universe.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's teamed up with Superman, right?
Yeah. Santa
John, you're
actually
nerding out again. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Santa actually is a immortal warrior in the DC world and has superpowers. So, Also, Uncle Sam, which fuck that guy,
Uncle Sam? Oh, fuck that.
Uncle Sam is also in there too. He's also fought with superheroes side by side as well.
But A Year Without Santa, that was like in 74, right?
I believe so. It was sometime around there. And then let me just touch on some of the other holiday specials. They had Little Drummer Boy. They mentioned Mad Monster Party. Santa Claus is coming to town. And then the one that I kind of did a lot of my research, or at least wanted to touch on, was the life and adventures of Santa Claus. And I kind of mentioned it. This was soon after they had released The Hobbit and Return of the King. And so they were getting into fantasy, The Last Unicorn. Then all of a sudden they dropped this, which was based off of a book. And John, you had said the author's name, I think, earlier.
L. Frank Baum, who is known for The Wizard of Oz.
Yep. And this was more or less a take, or a fantasy take, on how Santa Claus came to be, with a wizard asking immortals to make Santa immortal and telling the story of how Santa Claus came to be and how he helped children. And so I watched it yesterday for a little bit. And mind you, I told you guys both that I took an edible beforehand. And I felt really uncomfortable the entire time.
Jesus. Explain, Aaron.
Well, it's just some of the animation, because it was actually, I wasn't expecting great animation. This was the best out of all the Rankin Bass animations. So the Forest of Burzy, there's a council meeting being held with Great Elk, who is going to tell the story of Santa Claus. And it's about 60 years earlier. They keep saying Great Ack. Not elk, Great Ack, finds an abandoned baby in the snowy woods on the border of the forest. Basically just his progression in becoming Santa Claus. You'd have to watch it. It was actually, so I remember watching this when I was a kid too, and I hated it because I didn't understand it. It brings the mythos of like Saint Claus, how he is a saint and he helped children and whatnot, but it's not your typical Merry Christmas. Like, I think we're all used to the Rudolphs and the Frosty the Snowman, which were, like, choppy. But this actually flowed pretty well, but the story is just, it's lost. And then he has this, like, little sidekick that's an elf that is extremely creepy. And J.D. Roth, Earl Hammond, Alfred Drake, some of the typical people that they had. Like, I know Alfred Drake was in The Hobbit, Return of the King, and a bunch of other people. They use kind of the same actors as most production companies did because they were all under contract. But I don't know, man.
What year is this?
This was 1985, and it was their last stop motion animation. Soon after that, like the Christmas specials or the holiday specials just kind of worn out. So our parents introduced you to it because that was something that they kind of grew up with. But I think it got lost on Generation X a little bit. They were kind of disillusioned and whatnot. And Christmas.
They were more into the grunge.
Yeah, more into the grunge, but more into
More into
commercialism and toys and whatnot.
And cocaine.
And then we're just, cocaine. And then we're just all about those memes.
Exactly.
Oh,
TikTok.
Dude. TikTok and memes right now. But what's funny is that we've talked about this in other podcasts, is that the breakdown of the American family is just really hitting it's hitting the wall pretty hard. I mean, the only way to really connect with your parents now is to have them start with you in a TikTok video, which is ridiculous. But I think that
Well, isn't that something, John? At least they're involved in some way.
I mean, I guess it depends. I guess it depends on where you stand. You know, I lean to the left, but I have more conservative views when it comes to social media and stuff. So, I mean, I just feel like
I'm right there with you.
yeah, I think that we tend to miss out on the small things because we have to broadcast everything that we're doing. You know, it's funny because we complain about wanting privacy, but we're willing to broadcast every little thing that we do without a shadow of a doubt. It has to be
Question
everything.
for both of you. Is it okay to do that around the holidays, like Christmas? Like what we're talking about now. Is it okay? Because there's always been a tradition of taking an abundance of pictures.
Family photos and stuff.
Yes,
yeah.
around the holidays. So,
No, I think so. I mean, I guess where I'm at is that it doesn't have to be 24/7. You know, I think what happens is when you start.
is it 24/7 or does it appear to be
I think so.
24/7?
It appears that it's 24/7. It may not be 24/7, but the way things look, it's like 24/7. Like this next generation that's after us have to constantly try to keep up with the clicks. Like that's what I want to say. But to go back to my point about the holidays, I think that these little animated series are not being appreciated for what they were. You know, they would play at night. You would go, you know, Christmas Eve would be like a half day from school. You would get home, you know, you see all the presents under the tree, or they weren't there yet. They'd be there the next day. And you would get with your family and you would sit around this tube television looking forward to watching these little animated series that was getting ready to come on. You know, you had Frosty the Snowman, you had fucking Rudolph, and you had Santa's Coming to Town. All that stuff was getting ready to come on. Now what they've done is they've changed it because I think it's Freeform, which used to be ABC Family, does the 12 Days of Christmas where they show
25.
it all 25 days where they show it in succession. So, you know, they show The Nightmare Before Christmas. They show every holiday series within our time frame that we would appreciate. And then don't even let me get started on Hallmark. You know, Hallmark has the Christmas Witch or the Holiday Night. I'm just like, get the fuck out of here, man. It doesn't have to be romance in every fucking thing. Huh?
Right. But if your kids didn't, and this includes you too, Aaron, if your kids didn't have you as parents, do you think that they would naturally gravitate to Rankin Bass, those type of cartoons and movies without you? Do you think they would just naturally watch them?
No. My son would tell me how much he hates it, slam his head on the couch multiple times. I know my son well enough where it's like, and my daughter, she would more or less just be like, we can watch it and try to appease, because she does try to appease me. It's like, we're watching, you know, when I wanted to watch The Mandalorian or Star Wars or something like that. They are a YouTube generation because like I said, I think on the last episode, they both came up to me one day and were saying like and subscribe and wanting me to do videos for them.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Yeah.
No.
In regards to Christmas, you know, I can't answer for anybody else, but I myself enjoy the holidays. I enjoy when these shows come on. They may not be the best quality, but I love watching them because it just brings me back to a simpler time when you could just sit around the television with your family and watch these shows and you can recite the lines word for word. You know, I remember the aisle of misfit toys in Rudolph where they had all the toys that were like the fucked up rejects where you were like, Santa must have been on some drugs when he created these, you know? Like the polka dot, who wants an elephant with polka dots? Or a clown that never smiles, you know, like all that stuff.
So your parents didn't have to sit you in front of a TV to watch any of this Rankin Bass or anything. You just naturally gravitated to that.
Yeah, because, I mean, all they had to do was do it once or twice, and naturally you get right back into it, you know? Like, I like that. Like, I look forward to it every year, and I kind of feel bad if I don't watch it because, not because it was something that I did with my family, it's just that Christmas is so commercialized. These little things matter. These little small things matter, you know? I mean, memories are the things that keeps us going. So, you know, I like having that time, and I remember sitting with my dad and watching that stuff and enjoying it. And I wish I could get my son to sit and enjoy it, but, you know, he likes being on his tablet more than anything.
Well, that brings me to you, Aaron, because usually you are our get off our lawn guy. So don't you think, and this is a question for really both of you, that technology has really swayed the attention from really these shows becoming, from becoming a ritual around the holidays to just something that just falls into the ether of a lot of things?
I think that a lot of this stuff is just going to end up becoming, kids a couple generations from now is going to be like, oh, that's from that meme. They're not going to even know that it's, it's an animation. But at the same time, everything evolves. But mind you, we could end up coming back to this stuff at some point. They're readily available, like on YouTube. I think there's some, like the Patti LaBelle one that I had mentioned earlier isn't for some reason, but I don't know if that's like a legal thing. Santa Baby, just maybe having your kids watch, and you never know. When it comes to memories and understanding kind of like where you were at when you were a kid and you first saw these, like with me, I remember seeing them with my mom, but them not really paying attention. I remember watching Frosty and my brother telling me Santa didn't exist. A lot of these Rankin Bass.
Whoa, what age was that?
That was when I was 7.
Holy shit, man! That's crazy.
Your brother out cold.
Yeah, no, he was a son of a bitch.
Was he mad at you when he said it?
No, he thought it was funny. He said it to me. Well, so Tyler was 6. And Andrew, I don't think was actually speaking or his comprehension of words because he's 4 years. So he was 3, but he probably wasn't. We were all laying down, Christmas was the next day. We were all sleeping downstairs and there was a fire going and everything. We were all kind of nestled in, like all warm and cozy on the couch and everything. And we were going to fall asleep down there because we were going to wait for Santa Claus to pop out. And right before we went to sleep, and it's like, I'm just so excited. Santa's going to be here. We're going to catch him. We set up traps.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
My brother, the sociopath that he is like, you know what? No, Santa doesn't exist. When are you guys going to get that? And I'm just like, what? And I remember just at that point, Aaron's future was over.
So you learned about Santa at 7, Aaron. That's what you
depression struck, and I was drinking about a handle of vodka every night after that.
Jesus Christ.
That same thing happened to me, but my parents told me because the whole chimney thing was what did us in because we didn't have a chimney. And I would say, like, hey, how's Santa going to get in here? And my dad was like, well, the jig is up. So I think I was 7 or 8 when that happened.
7 or 8? I was 11.
Dude, I'm telling you, it fucking sucks when you find out that Santa doesn't
it?
I look at it like this. I've heard both sides of the argument. So for those who don't know, I'm a lax Christian. Like I am a Christian, but I'm very lax when it comes to certain things. But you got the one side that's like, well, Jesus is the reason for the season. Then you got the other side who's like, I just believe in being real and telling kids ahead of time that there's no Santa because then you avoid that them believing in things that aren't necessary. And then you got people like me that's in between. Like, I understand both sides, but at the same time, let a kid be a fucking kid for a little bit because you take away that magic, you take away that imagination, and you throw them into this cold gray world that we live in right now. You are killing fucking the vibe. Like,
but if they're at a point now, Don had to step away for a second. I'm just going to say this because I want people to know he's gone, but you got to be like real. Like all his buddies that were around him that probably already knew that Santa didn't exist. Yeah. And were like having to hold it back. And like his mom was a saint then because they're all like, anyone says anything to him, you're a dead kid.
My spouse did that. Because I put some gifts under the tree now, and my son is 7. And she told him, she said, we buy you these gifts. And I was pretty pissed because I was like, why are you telling him this? Like, he needs as much... this is a kid who loves dinosaurs, loves Jurassic Park, would give anything to see something like that right now. And you have the audacity to tell him that there's no Santa right now. I'm like, I get it, but I mean, yeah, he should acknowledge that his parents worked hard to get him this stuff. But at the same time, man, I just feel like you need to have a little bit of magic, man. Just a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Well, the way that I do it with my kids is I tell them UFOs are real.
Yeah.
Because they are.
They are.
They are. And it's something that we can't understand.
So is Santa Claus a UFO in your opinion?
Santa Claus is possibly a disinfo agent. Definitely has connections to the CIA and the OSI. He is not with the American people.
Hey, it's so funny you said that because Mel Gibson's recent movie, The Fat Man, came out, and Santa works.
Yeah.
Santa works with the military in that one. They want his flying technology.
Was that good?
I didn't watch it. I just know that from the Wikipedia.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
So, Don, talking about it earlier, so one of the memories I have, and it wasn't so much Rankin Bass, but Mad TV. We both had the same thing where they did the spoof.
I always work fucking backwards. And to answer your question before you even answer it, yeah, my introduction to Rankin Bass really wasn't until I was a teenager, and it didn't even come from the actual Rankin Bass series or show. It actually came from Mad TV when they did the spoof of Rankin Bass, and I think Aaron, maybe you can help me out. And they did the Rudolph spoof where basically he was Michael Corleone.
Yep, it was the Godfather.
Yeah, he ascended to like the head deer or the reindeer of the group, but it was so fucking hilarious. And then one was Terminator comes back and tries to save Jesus, and
I saw that one. I love that one.
Hilarious.
I love that one.
But it was in
what
stop.
Was it called? The Apostle. I forgot what
Judgment
it was,
Day. It was
hilarious. He kept bringing Judas back.
Yes,
so he could kill him.
Judas has.
No, he kept killing him.
Judas has to kiss me to kill me, and he's like, "Look, Pontius Pilate," and he revives Judas like the Terminator. Jesus keeps reviving Judas, and the Terminator keeps killing him. He's like, "No, I have to die for these people," and he's like, "No, you don't."
Exact. That wasn't stop motion, but the now that I think about it, the Rudolph one was. That's whoever's listening, go watch that. That's hilarious.
You know who else did a really good spoof of that is Robot Chicken. Robot Chicken did a spoof of that with the elf. The elf is like, I want to be a doctor, and he fucks up. And then he's like, oh, no, I think I want to be a vet. And then he fucks that up. And then he's like, no, I'm going to be a dentist. And he fucks that up. And then what happens is that Santa is like this mob boss. And it's all in stop motion. He's like, here at the North Pole, we like to have things organized in a certain kind of way. And he kisses Santa's ring. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'll never go off and be anything else other than an elf. He's like, that's good. Why don't you go on this fishing trip with such and such? And the guy takes him out in the middle of the lake, and they're fishing, and then he shoots them.
Godfather too. Jesus. Yes.
Yeah, he shoots him and knocks him out, and that's when Santa's talking to the incoming elves like, we don't believe in being different here. And like, I remember that, dude. It was so funny. They also did that same Santa thing with a Kill Bill setup, where Jesus is the bride, and he has to go fight the Easter Bunny and Santa. It's funny. Yeah.
The Mad TV one that you were talking about, I do remember a little bit more. There were like snippets of Godfather, but the funniest thing about it that I remember is that they beeped out all the swears. Yeah. And I think it was like Santa like looking at Rudolph or whatever. He's like, you motherfucker, and just beeped it. And then they start shooting each other and just like blowing up shit.
Hell yeah.
I always go backwards, but that's the one that got stop motion on my radar and got me into actually watching Rankin Bass. Was something totally different, and it was hilarious. But Rankin Bass was great too. That actually leads me to a question I have for both of you guys. If you guys had one Christmas wish to bring back favorite childhood TV show or movie, what would it be? Or a reboot? Because we were just talking about Mad TV. That could be on my list. Is it any show that you guys will bring back, resurrect, even if like the actors are dead? Like if you can resurrect an actor, like for example, Bewitched, they're all dead. You can resurrect them. What would you bring back?
So I said Silverhawks. Yes. I remember watching that as a kid and bringing, the thing is that I hate reboots. I hate them more than anything else on the face of the planet. But if it was done right, I would say either maybe even a live action Silverhawks would be fucking phenomenal. But yeah, Silverhawks, the cartoon. And then I was also thinking, like, if they just kept doing episodes of X-Files, that's it. You know,
forgot
like
about
Yeah,
it's
X-Files. I was binging it and then I stopped for some reason. But fuck, X-Files was so good, man. Like
Yeah.
the early 90s. Shows like that came on in the 90s, like that intro always spooked me out.
Yes.
But I loved watching it. Like, it brought me into the series. To get back to your question, though, if I could resurrect one show, it was a segment on Eat the Cat. It was called The Terrible Thunder Lizards. And it was about these dinosaur mercenaries that would hunt down these 2 cave people. And it had an all-star cast with Jason Priestley, Corey Feldman, Charlie Adler, who was the voice of Buster Bunny on Tiny Toons, Kurtwood Smith, who's known as Red from That 70s Show, Brad Garrett, who was the older brother from Everybody Loves Raymond, and then Curtis Armstrong.
I didn't even realize that, John. They had an all-star cast of like
Yeah.
character actors.
Yeah, and it was only on for 11 minutes. It was a mixture of Commando, Predator, and Terminator, where these guys were hunting down the cave people.
Now, that's a good one. For me, at first when I asked the question to you guys, I was going to say X-Men, the cartoon from 93, I think it started.
Yeah.
Maybe with a more updated animation. But then I started to really think about it. I feel like even as a kid, I thought this show was fucking hilarious. And I know they've been teasing that it was gonna get rebooted. But for me, it's Martin. I think everybody loved Martin when it was like in its prime. I would love for Martin to actually come back and actually be irreverent and funny as it was when it first came out.
Bring back Tommy.
Yeah, rest in peace, Tommy. If I can bring back Tommy, yes, Martin is my show.
Well,
Wait, so they are planning on rebooting it?
They keep talking about it, but
Okay.
The guy that plays Cole doesn't get along with Martin Lawrence.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
That's been one of the things that's been hanging it up.
He's been on record saying that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And Martin, I've heard. I don't want to start rumors or anything. It's really not.
Yeah.
It's on record, but he wasn't the best co-star to, I guess, act with in those days. But hopefully it'll be different now. But of course, Tommy Ford can't be on the show. But if I could resurrect a show, I think today's kids would still think that show was funny when it was really funny.
You think so? Because Martin was a little... I love...
He was the only black voice that I felt like appealed to both black and white, and he didn't compromise. Maybe I'm speaking out of tune, but I feel like even white people thought it was funny.
Yeah. I think Martin would come across to some people, but at the same time, he was very abrasive when it came to women on that show. It's almost like...
That's true.
I would want to watch it. But
well, what about like a Martin with Kevin Hart?
Yeah, I mean, because
a Martin with Kevin Hart,
beating Martin instead of Martin.
Yeah, well, no, just Kevin Hart playing Martin. White people love Kevin Hart.
They do. I see what you did there, Aaron.
That's like,
but perfect one. Before we go, I got a good one. Chappelle Show, just fucking Chappelle Show.
Yeah, no, that's
He's still funny. So
yeah.
I completely agree.
Oh, John
Him
doesn't
doing
agree.
new sketches.
No. I do, but I think the magic is kind of gone with that. I would want to see it though, because I like his comedy now. He's adapted his comedy to what's going on right now, and I mean, he really fucks people over. I love it.
Yeah. He doesn't give a shit, man.
He doesn't.
He's fucking brilliant.
Both his Saturday Night Live intros were phenomenal.
Great.
Yep.
But could it translate to his sketch comedy again? That's what I'm curious to know.
I'm guessing for those Saturday Night Live appearances that he wrote all those sketches that he appeared in, or at least co-wrote.
I'm sure.
I believe he did. As far as I knew, he had free reign. That's the only reason why he came back. I thought he came back the second time was to do that. Also, the fact that it had been 4 years since the last time he was on, because he had he was on there when Donald Trump was elected. Yep. And then he was oh God, I remember that episode because I watched it specifically for that.
I did too. It was a very powerful monologue. It was a very powerful monologue. Like the only other monologue that I've liked that was on there was Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Bill
Hell
Burr,
yes.
I finally saw that 3 weeks ago. It's really good.
Yeah, Bill Burr went on there and did exactly what he said he was going to do. He pissed off the people who get pissed off about being pissed off about other people's shit. And it always made me laugh because he did exactly what he set out to do. He triggered those who get triggered over shit they shouldn't be triggered over. You know, like that's what he did.
But remember, he was on Chappelle's show too. So if I'm resurrecting the show, he would be on there, John. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You got to really wrap your mind around it. It would be great.
I think that's a good resurrection. If I had to bring back a show, I would love to see Married with Children right now.
Oh, that's okay.
The reason why is because the writing was good. It was very funny. It was like lowbrow comedy, but you know, it was made at the expense of overweight women, which I'm sure wouldn't translate well now.
I was gonna say, if you trash my idea about Martin being abrasive, what do you think? The reaction would be, "Ow."
No, I'm not trashing your. I'm not trashing your idea. I brought it up because you brought up Martin, because of how it was written. Like, Al Bundy he despised women, even though he was married to Peg. He despised women. But those episodes when him and Peg would team up were fantastic.
Yes.
Oh, it was fantastic.
He kind of reminds me of Archie Bunker a little bit. Al,
yeah, a little bit.
I was going to say,
he wasn't racist, though.
On the topic of comedians and everything, instead of, I have Silverhawks on there, but the one thing that I wanted to see, and we will never get to see, is either sketch or a comedy show from Patrice O'Neal, because talking about Bill Burr, Chappelle, and all those New York comics, and I, recently have been watching a lot of stand-up.
Yeah,
Patrice O'Neal was by far one of the best comedians.
He was on the Opie and
Anthony show.
Opie and Anthony show.
Yeah, when they were doing the radio. So was Jim Norton, all those guys.
Yeah,
all fucking talented, and or just seeing Patrice O'Neal on SNL.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he was on SNL.
No,
he was on Chappelle's show.
Though.
He was on Chappelle's show.
The Player Haters Ball.
See, he would be resurrected too. Yes.
Boss Hog. What was his name?
Oh man, hate
I hate you. I don't even know you, but I hate your guts.
Because it was beautiful. It was, if you bring back Chappelle's show, God, man, I'd love to see Charlie Murphy. Charlie Murphy.
Oh, yeah.
On.
That's two people. Damn, dude. I forgot about
Charlie Murphy was on there. He told Patrice O'Neal, you Boss Hog, very insulting what you said about my coat. It's made from your mother's pubic hairs. Quite chilly. Did you ever see the behind the scenes for that? They kept cracking each other up.
Yeah.
Because when Chappelle comes in with his entourage and Patrice O'Neal, look like them hoes came out the Skittle box. He's like, well, that's right. I would say something about your bitches, but it looked like you ate them. And they all broke down laughing, dude. They couldn't keep it together.
That's what I'm saying. When you, the whole oh, man. They always were ahead of the curve, so I think I won that round. So I win.
Yeah, I think so. Agreed.
But happy Hanukkah, people. So
Merry holidays, or whatever they're calling it these days.
Yep, a little bit of a themed episode, and then we got loose there at the end because it is Christmas Eve as we were recording this, and we all got to get with our families. Don is headed to some light show. I am...
It's cocaine.
Oh, cocaine?
No, I'm kidding.
Where? No? It's going to be a white Christmas, everyone.
Oh,
well,
God. Yes, yeah.
This is going to be After School Special signing out, and then we will see you next year. Probably not sure when this episode is coming out. And yeah, we're just going to try to give you as much content as we possibly can. We got a lot of good things heading our way this year, and let's hope Corona goes away.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Everybody stay safe. Wear a mask. It's been a great year. First year doing this podcast. Merry Christmas. I said it.
Fuck, man. I should have said Pee Wee Herman. I would love to see that show again. Pee Wee Herman.
Too late. I already won. Too late.
Yeah, with Lawrence Fishburne. as Cowboy Curtis.
No.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, no, he has to be on the show, but be as Morpheus, like from Matrix.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, I love to see that.
Since he's not going to be in the new Matrix, I heard. So anyway, that's a whole nother.
Ah,
show.
fuck.
All right, yeah, that's another story for another time.
All right, guys. Have a good one. We hope you enjoyed the Pandemic Journals. We hope to be releasing more of these. Let us know what you think. Find new episodes every Wednesday where you listen to podcasts. And look for us on all the social media sites and Gmail at Afterschoolspecialpodcasts at Gmail, Afterschoolspecialpodcasts at Instagram and Facebook, and AfterschoolSPE3 on Twitter. Rate and subscribe. A rabbit
not?
doesn't shit out eggs.
Oh,
Oh.
this whole time I thought that.